Welcome to the Chewn podcast, where real topics are discussed by fake individuals with fake opinions. Even if it's the host or the guest, don't take them seriously. And if you do get offended, guess what? Shit happens. Leave it below in the comment section. Let's roll.
What's up? Welcome back to Chewn podcast. We back in here with another banger. Big shout out to everybody. We always want to send you all, respect and appreciation for liking the videos, sharing the content, commenting down below. All of that, as you know, we are a young, growing channel. So we really do appreciate that. And today we're going to get into a few topics. All week we're going to be running it down. Me and Dan DeVille in here. Big shout out to my brother Dan DeVille. Getting another house over there. That's always an accomplishment.
Oh, man, appreciate
doing
you,
his
brother.
thing. Doing his thing.
Grow.
And we're
grow. I'm moving the right way. Pondering about things throughout life.
Okay.
So I was sitting here thinking Saturday and then today Sunday I get them to go to church, right?
Okay.
So follow me with us.
Follow him, Nation. Follow him, Nation. Let's go.
So when the people of the lighter hue white folks, they talk about Jesus loves everybody, however you are. Doesn't matter your color, doesn't matter any of that. Jesus loves you and all these great things. And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, now, I've seen white Jesus in plenty black churches.
Facts.
I've never seen a black Jesus in a white church.
Jesus.
Nation, have you seen one?
Not even in a white church.
I pondered these things. Have you seen an Asian Jesus in the white church?
Have you seen a dark-skinned Jesus without the blonde hair in any church?
In a white church.
Right.
I'm just curious. Have we seen it?
No.
I've seen the opposite, man. But these just things.
Right.
I was pondering this the past couple of days. So, hey, yeah. As we go on, Nation. What we diving into today, my good brother?
No, I think you with something right there, brother. This is just gonna be. I think this is something we need. Let's spend a little bit more time here on this one, the black white Jesus, because very interesting. You bring that up. It is Sunday, as we are recording this right now. It probably will be Monday before you all see it, the day after Sunday, which means you went to church, you got all holy, you go back Monday and talk shit to people at your job or do some heathen shit. So let's stay there right there. Let's talk about the dynamics of having white Jesus, blue eyes, blonde hair, as a visual representation of the higher being to be before we get to God's level, right? And you are absolutely correct. I've never been in a white predominant church, right? I don't want to just list race to church, but a white predominant church. You can go down. Catholics is going to be white predominant church.
Right.
We already know that. We get in there. You go A&E, or AME, you're going to have black predominant Baptist, kind of a mix.
Right.
But in none of those have I ever seen a true representation of how Jesus is described even in the Bible itself. And I think there's something to be said there about still not willing to give full credit to whom was never a savage, but always civilized and the original human being on the face of this earth, and that is the black man.
And we fell for it.
And we fell for it.
And we
absolutely fell for it. Absolutely.
They are literally telling us the sky is red.
And you look up, see the shit blue, and you still say it's red.
And we mind it.
Right. And I think it's a reason why they do that. It's another step, another ploy to belittle the black community and take its power away so that you never remember the greatness from which you came from. And it's like dealing with somebody that's so horrible at even pulling off a trick. In the Bible, at any point in time, you could have changed this shit, but you didn't. It literally says skin of bronze, hair of lamb's wool. That ain't a white man. That's not a white man.
Brother.
Physically, white people, and I trust me, got love for white people. Hey, dad, God-given dad, he's white. It's all good. It's not that. The ones as big as and racist, fuck y'all, whatever you say. But listen, my dad even says this. He says, Jesus is a black man. Therefore, black people are the true people of that land. He said, and I always make sure that I respect that, because if you are a God-fearing man, then you know the truth, then you know that black people are the people of Jesus. So
exactly.
you just have to. It's like, why
That's
can't you just accept
wisdom.
that? Because you don't want to give up the power. You don't want to let us have and understand. You want to erase all the history so that our later generations don't have any connection from what they really came from. You were never savages. You were inventors. You were innovators. You built the pyramids. You were Jesus. You were Abraham's tribe. You were Jacob. You were all this. We want to sever that because we want you to think that the worst thing that ever happened to you was slavery. So anything that happens after that could be a plus. And now you motherfuckers are trying to tell us that slavery was actually a plus.
but you know, and even with their nonsense and them wanting to take slavery and take these different aspects out of the schools,
right?
You know, it's they're trying to erase their children's vision of what they've done, of what their ancestors have done. They're trying to erase that evil, dark picture, and they want them, because them kids are looking to believe. Them kids are growing up with young black kids. They seeing the culture. They seeing, man, black folks are the dopest folks on the world.
Right.
You know, man, these folks can do the most with less every time.
And that,
you know, so these things we talk about at the little family dinner table with the Brady Bunch, you know, this ain't true. This ain't what their kids seeing. So they going out here to take it out to schools now so that they can erase any history in their kids' mind of the evil things that they've done.
That their ancestors
and to hold that
done.
Power over people, man.
True.
It's
one thing they always been the glorifying, like, it's y'all always been good and been bad. Anything dark skinned is bad. Y'all are always good. And another thing they want to do is you're ashamed. You're ashamed of sharing the real history and factually how it was, because you're ashamed about how your kids are going to feel about their previous ancestors and how they're going to feel about themselves. You don't want them to feel like they owe anybody anything. It's not necessarily to say they owe that person, but what they should do, what you do owe them, is to say, this shit was fucked up. This is what you shouldn't do, and this is how we fix it going forward. But if you can't admit what you did wrong, and you can't admit that, then it tells me that you're just carrying on the lie. So now I can hold you liable and responsible for what's happening, and accountable for what's happening after that. That's the craziness, man. That's the craziness. Like, we were just, like, you can't even tell. Why do you talk about Edison in the schools, but you don't talk about who was really designing the blueprints? You don't talk about the black man, Latimer, who was really behind the Edison. You don't talk about Bell and about how they stole these patents and how these patents and how these inventions were really those of the black community, and they stole them. You don't want to tell that.
Brother,
you know, you got Trump up here trying to take down the damn museum up there. It's crazy. Idiot. They're trying to get rid of everything that says something about what you actually did and what you actually stole, and it's bullshit, man. And then back to the Jesus thing is, I mean, if we don't tell them Jesus is black, then, you know, we have to have every visual representation that does represent power needs to be white. Just hands down. That's what they want.
Brother, what type of individual or what type of people will take Jesus now, stand on him, you know, sit there, you know, Protestant, Anglo-Saxon, what's the one, the Mormons, you know, all these different things. Jesus now, and you gonna turn them white, huh?
Whitewash.
You gonna turn them white, but you gonna turn them white, and how you do that?
How do you do that? How do you do that?
How we go for that? How anybody go for that?
Bro, it's one.
You gonna turn them white, huh?
You know, they got the game. It's one of the dopest tricks ever in human history, man. Is tricking the black man eventually to believe you wasn't shit, and you should be okay with having shit.
I mean, fucking up is down and down is up, like a motherfucker.
So, you know what? That's going to lead us into. Actually, that'll lead us into another topic, because we were going to get into this one topic, but that'll lead us into that. So I'm going to play this clip. This is about a school here in the state of Georgia and a situation that took place. Parents were not happy with it. Kids came home talking about it, and then it definitely had some backlash. But I will say, I don't have any confidence in the schooling system to do what really needs to be done, because they're part of trying to whitewash history right now. So here we go.
Hunter Creek.
Let's bring this video clip up real quick. Mm-hmm. Now, out of all the things that you are choosing not to teach in these schools, Ruby Fall, Ruby, Rosa, real stories about Martin Luther King, even you all don't even want to try to acknowledge Malcolm X because you don't want our children to feel that they can be rebellious in the face of adversity and wrong. You think that it was a good idea to show them what segregation was, or do you think it was an idea to see how far you could get with it, and then maybe we can keep rewinding this clock? That shit is absolutely buffoonery. Whites only, colors only. That is, and I wonder what the water fountains looked like where it was for colors only. I wonder what that looked like. This right here was crazy. That shit right there, bro, was completely out of pocket.
Story to be told here.
Tell it to the nation, brother. Tell it.
Story to be told here. Segregation is two sides to it. Segregation and integration, this is a thing. What's happening right now in the world is a product of integration. You understand? Poison of the food and water. Getting raped for pennies and the most minimal of points on every deal that we do in every industry. We build it, we rise it up, we're the soul of it. And they take it and they capitalize on it and leave us destitute. That's what integration is. But they don't tell that part of the story, nation. That's why we got to educate the youth at home.
Right.
Every other culture does. Educate your youth at home. This generation that's coming up now, segregation can work in our favor now, because segregation means we've got enough history, we've got enough proven fact that we can build any and everything with nothing. And it's taken from us because we do deals under desperation, because we don't have the funds and relationships and resources, because we integrated.
That's a banger.
Into something that wasn't our plan. It wasn't our scheme. We integrated into somebody else's game. You can never win when you do that.
Ooh, that's a banger. That's a
banger.
You know,
but that's the side that's not being told.
True.
You know, they can tell they portion because they portion in great. You know, that integration, they came and took everything from us, and they had the right to do it. And they also took our soul, because we became dependent upon their system. So segregation for this new generation that's coming up can be a great thing. You know, learn to be insulated. Young ones, you learn to be insulated. Learn to survive and support each other. True. Then you can go out into the world and participate in other cultures, because you're strong now.
That's true, brother.
You self-dependent. You're a self-contained unit. You know, but yeah, man.
That's a hot point.
Let me get off my soapbox, man.
Nah, stay on your soapbox, bro. This our soapbox. Fuck them. This our soapbox. We get on this shit I want. That's a very good point that Dan DeVille just brought up about, segregation and integration, that it's not all bad. They would have you think that it's only bad when the black community does it. It's bad when the black community wants to come together, build something that will promote and build them up, because we're so stripped and torn down. And the moment it starts looking like it gets some momentum, what do you all see happen? You'll see them try to create laws to disband it. You'll see them even murder us to disband it. You'll see them murder us to keep that from happening. Come on, man. They murdered Fred Hampton in his sleep. Infiltrated his group, murdered him in his sleep. Execution style while his pregnant wife was in the other room. These are the things that white America has done for those that participate in this domestic terrorism and never call it what it really is. Because that's exactly what it is. And so, I definitely feel you, Dan DeVille. It's something that we definitely going to be trying to get into, and hopefully we can bring some more conversation and ideas that will promote positive positive growth. We're not trying to say don't treat human beings as human beings, but hopefully in the eyes of those to see it's okay for the black community to have their own thing and also make money from it, and us also invest in it the same way we've had them invest in our businesses and our elaborate schemes forever. It's okay for them to have their own thing and that money go back to their community. I always had a thing that I used to do. I used to put BDC in something when I did a transaction. And sometimes people would ask me like, yo, what the hell does that mean? And it was my own thing for black dollar circulation, meaning that for this transaction to this business transaction, this is another time that this dollar has circulated in the black business.
Right.
So it's nothing wrong with that at all, but it is something wrong with white America to allow it because they never want it, because they don't want us to really get back to that and understand, like, motherfucker, this shit's really ours. It's not yours. You stole, you brought us here. We came here and been trading and went back and respected the people that were occupants of this land and went back to our own land and did all types of business transactions before you motherfuckers got lost and started trying to do the slave trade. We're not the savages. Your ancestors are the savages. You're the savages if you're continuing on with these.
It's in the genes.
Right. And there you go too, bro. It's bred in. It's
It's
bred
in
in.
the genes.
It is.